Trevor, can you hear me?
Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
All right, so, nighttime is coming. It looks like the fires are not as massive. They look like the fire department has gotten them under control, or they're just burning themselves out. Is that what you're seeing?
Well, these pictures are going to be somewhat deceptive right now because air traffic controllers over at the big airport have kicked us out of their airspace for whatever reason. So this is the best shot the public's going to get at this point. We're roughly almost 4 miles away. So I would venture to say that these fires are still burning very out of control. The first responders are still responding in massive forces. You can still see, I can still see them racing down the Watterson I-65 so they can approach off of Outer Loop and Fern Valley Road. So a massive response to this. The fires are still burning out of control. But like I said, we're probably 3.5, 4 miles away at this point. At the request of Louisville Power, Rick.
Bill, knowing now what we do know, UPS flight that was headed to Honolulu, loaded with fuel on takeoff. It had and you can see that fire on one of the engines prior to takeoff. Now, so this would have been taking off going which direction, Bill? Give us a lay of the airport there.
Yeah, they were on 17 right, which is the west runway. They would have been departing south. The winds have been out of the south all day. Very evident by the way the smoke is going from the airport up towards the Ohio River. The one thing that I noticed when we first got on scene, we really didn't get a chance to show it to you, but there was some visible damage on the right side of the runway, almost down at the very end part of the runway, where it looks like the airplane, for whatever reason, veered off on the west or right side of the runway and took out some runway markers. And then I think you all did report on one shot that we had where you could see that there was damage to the roof, where it looks like the bottom of the airplane went through the top part of one of those warehouses down there right off of Grade Lane. So obviously that plane was having some major issues, possibly with power or whatever. Maybe it was because of whatever it hit on the runway did not allow it to get into the air. But very tragic scene unfolding down at Louisville International Airport right now, Rick.
Hey, Bill, I wanted to ask you, we know that it had 280,000 gallons of fuel on board there. Was this crash anywhere near the fuel farm there at the airport or where they store fuel?
Well, most of their fuel, I think, is kept out west over by the Ohio River, and then they truck it over. They do have some storage tanks right in the middle of the airport, over in the middle part of the international airport. So to my knowledge, there are no storage tanks down in the area where this aircraft crashed. So I just think that that's just the massive amount of fuel that would have been on that airplane. Just as a reference, that jet fuel weighs 6.8 pounds per gallon. So think about, you all were talking about how many gallons of fuel. So if that was taken off and it was flying nonstop to Hawaii, it had a lot of fuel on board, and that's why we're seeing this continued burning of the jet fuel over there.
Bill, I was just going to test your knowledge on a flight that was going to Honolulu. How many crew members? And we've just been told 3 crew members on board that UPS flight 2976 headed to Honolulu, which crashed on takeoff today.
Yeah, it was scheduled to land there around 10 o'clock tonight, their time, so about an 8.5-hour flight time there.
And I had the wrong assessment. It looked like they were dying out, but Bill just had to back off. The air traffic controllers kicked him out of their airspace or farther back, so he's taking these pictures from 4 miles away, and you can see that the fires continue to rage. I'm estimating quarter of a mile stretch of that industrial park.
We just want to bring you up to speed on information from the FAA, and also the pilots union is letting the NTSB take the lead on this. They do not have a comment right now, but just to bring you up to speed on what's happened, according to the FAA, preliminary information, UPS flight 2976 crashed around 5:15 p.m. local time here in Louisville, Kentucky. After departing from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, it was a McDonnell Douglas MD-11 headed to the International Airport in Honolulu, Hawaii. The FAA and NTSB are investigating, and the NTSB will obviously lead this investigation here forward.
All right, and we've had several pilots that have been calling in and said our estimation, we got this from the mayor, of course, with 280,000 gallons. That is not correct. Maybe we're talking about the weight. I don't know. We'll wait and clarify that.
This happens
Regardless,
sometimes.
it was full of fuel. That plane was taking off and heading to Honolulu.
And we do have an updated comment from UPS on their website. It says at approximately 5:20 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, UPS flight 2976 from Louisville, Kentucky to Honolulu, an MD-11 with 3 crew members on board was involved in an accident in Louisville. At this time, we have not confirmed any injuries or casualties. UPS will release more facts as they become available, but the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, is in charge of this investigation, will be the primary source of information about the official investigation, and that's UPS's comment as far as this investigation goes and what happened.
All right, the Trimark camera there, Trimark 2, you can see what it's looking like from the traffic situation on 65 there, and then you can see the plume of smoke off to the left. That is off of Grade Lane, right by the airport tonight. And then on the right, you can see our WLKY news chopper giving us the pictures of the extensive flames and the fires that are still raging right now out there off of Grade Lane. A plane taking off, UPS plane with 3 pilots on board, crashed on takeoff. An initial huge explosion. The plane was loaded with fuel. And then that set off a series of explosions and has set several fires, several businesses in that area, recycling facilities there.
Ford
is off of Fern Valley Road. Just a horrifying situation to look at, and our fire department has its hands full, as you can see.
We have great first responders who are all out there at this scene right now, are going to have a very long night. With that being said, there is, again, a shelter in place within 5 miles of the Louisville airport. LMPD says that Grade Lane will likely be closed indefinitely, so avoid this area. You can see here on your screen that traffic is already backed up there. As you can imagine, some of these roads, even beyond Grade Lane, are probably likely going to be closed for a bit, as a massive amount of first responders are there on the scene trying to do what they do best, respond and help save people in this emergency. Just a devastating situation for all of Louisville.
Well, when things like this happen, it gets the attention of everyone. Flying is safe relatively as far as the numbers go.
And
this is just, this is what happens when it does go wrong.
And you hear pilots say it all the time that, taking off and landing is, the most dangerous part of a flight. And unfortunately, what they fear has happened here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Jamie Mays has been out on scene for us. Jamie, what can you tell us now?
Jennifer, Rick, we're out here near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, and you can see since I've been here, there's been a steady stream of law enforcement, first responders who've been out here making their way right in this area over here. They weren't here earlier. We could not see them in this vicinity earlier, but we see a lot more police presence here. Also, a lot more people kind of leaving out of the airport. Some people kind of looking confused about what's been happening. That big billow of smoke, we can still see it a little bit right over here, over my right-hand shoulder here. It's getting darker right now, so it's a little bit harder to spot it, but it's still there. Now, as we were leaving the station, we could see the smoke. We could see some of that ash falling from the sky. Just really kind of an overwhelming presence. We heard from the mayor earlier today, and he spoke about the fact that people who live nearby within this 5-mile radius should shelter in place for their safety. That's still in effect right now. We'll continue to update you with more information. Back to you.
All right, Jamie May is reporting for us. If you're just joining us, this has been a horrific tragedy that has happened here in Louisville. A UPS plane crashed about 5:20 this evening.
Yeah, there was UPS flight 2976. It was headed to Honolulu, loaded with fuel. You could see we had video from the airport earlier today, and if we could show that anytime, go ahead and pop that up because it's just amazing. It was taken from another passenger on another plane out at the international airport, and you can see one of the engines on fire as the UPS plane was getting ready to take off. You can see it's already has an engine that is on fire, and then follow it down about 5 more seconds and you'll see the massive explosion.
And I had a pilot friend who was texting me right there some information saying this was just kind of the perfect storm, that if this was happening in the air, if there was some sort of fire in the air, they would have been able to dump some of that fuel that they had, but unfortunately they didn't have that on their side, that this happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And here's another look at that crash from a passenger on another plane at the Louisville airport.
And so that initial explosion of the plane crashing into the businesses that warehouses and such that are right next to the airport, and it has set off a chain reaction of one fire, one explosion after another, and we got about a quarter-mile stretch of buildings just burning.
And
also
you
can
power is out to some portions of the area there, a lot of businesses. We have a source that's telling us that power is out at the Ford Louisville Assembly plant there, the Ford LAP, and they're on lockdown, as are people within a 5-mile radius of the Louisville airport. City officials are asking people to shelter in place as they continue to investigate. We are still unsure of exactly what was on the plane as far as what was being transported by UPS. We are unsure of what was crashed, what the plane crashed into with all of those buildings and that were housing items.
What we do know is there were 3 individuals of the crew on that UPS flight 2976, and our heart and prayers go out to the families of the crew members. We're waiting to hear the status of them. And you mentioned, you know, at Ford, so it's where you see the line of fires and that plume of smoke, it's Grade Lane, and then you've got Fern Valley Road, and that's where the Ford plant is.
And we do know that Grade Lane is closed indefinitely, and we would imagine that other roads there are probably closed as well, or backed up, as you're seeing here on your screen. And you can see that plume of smoke for miles. People are posting on Facebook and other social media sites that they were able to hear some of the explosions a good ways away. So you can imagine and see it right here, just how powerful that explosion was and just how much fuel was involved in this explosion. Still some details, obviously a lot of details that we have still yet to get, but we are working to get those details for you. Mayor Craig Greenberg checked in with us over the phone. He has talked to Governor Beshear, and the governor's on the way to Louisville, and they're expecting to have some sort of press conference here later today as they learn more details, because all of this happened probably around 5:20, so almost 2 hours ago, not long ago.
And Chopper Bill told us the way it lines up out at the airport, the UPS plane was departing south on 17 right, is what he called the runway, if I wrote that down properly. There is still the shelter in place around the airport. You've still seen a lot of people on 65 that are heading right into that area, so keep your windows up, folks. But just a lot of smoke, and we don't know what kind of chemicals are being distributed through the air right now.
You mentioned a lot of different businesses impacted and affected by this plane crash, and we do want to let you know that UPS, again, has released a statement just reiterating the details of what happened around 5:20 p.m. UPS flight 2976 from Louisville was departing to Honolulu. That was an MD-11 with 3 crew members on board. It was involved in some sort of accident, a crash, And at this time, they have not. UPS has not confirmed any casualties or injuries, but UPS is allowing NTSB to take the lead on this investigation and will be the primary source for information as far as the investigation goes. So again, 3 crew members on board that UPS flight, and LMPD and other city officials are reporting some injuries. We are unsure of whether those injuries are from folks who were on the plane or if they were people who were unfortunately in the crash that happened after.
All right, I think I can clear up a little bit of what the mayor had given us a number. He said 280,000 gallons. I think he was, after hearing from Bill DeReamer, I think he was talking about the weight. So it would have been around 1,000 gallons of fuel. The weight of it, as Bill did the calculations for us, I think that would come out to about 280,000 pounds.
Okay, Rick, we do want to let people know that the airport is temporarily closed. The screening area, the security screening TSA, is temporarily suspended there at the airport. So if you have a flight tonight or tomorrow, be sure to keep checking in with your airline and check in with the airport for updates on your flight. But as of right now, TSA is temporarily closed at Louisville.
Just a sad day here, November 4th, and we had a massive crash, plane taking off out at the Louisville International Airport, and then it is set ablaze all of these structures that are along Grade Lane out by the airport.
And, you know, UPS has long been a staple company in Louisville, and a lot of us know people who work at UPS.
Some of the best pilots in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
My heart just breaks for everybody. Erica Fox, who has worked for us, her husband is a pilot. And so I always think about when something like this happens, the people that we know. And Louisville is such a big city, but it's also a small town when it comes to knowing somebody that may be involved in something.
Hearts and prayers go out to the 3 crew members that are aboard the UPS flight and anybody else that may have been injured in the aftermath of the explosions, because it was around, it was 5:19 when this plane was taking off. So some folks would have still been working in those industrial areas there off of Grade Lane. We're waiting for the fire department and the mayor to come back to give us some updated numbers on injuries, fatalities, such.
And this is unfortunately going to be a very long process and a very long investigation. We do want to check in with WLKY's Madison Elliott for more information on this plane crash in Louisville. Madison?
Hey guys, so what we can tell you right now is a lot of that smoke from our vantage point has dissipated. So we're right on the edge of the airport, one of the roads that goes right into the airport as you're getting on and off 65. And we really can't see the smoke as much anymore. It has gotten darker, so our vantage point isn't as good as it was when we first got here about 40 minutes ago or so, but we know the FAA confirms that this was a UPS plane that was headed to Honolulu that crashed. And when we were on our way here from the station, our station, I put it in Google Maps, is about 10 miles away. And we could see the plume of smoke even from our station. We know a lot of our viewers have seen it from miles away as well. And it's hard for us to zoom in right now to show you the smoke because, again, it's a little bit darker out, and we have seen some of that smoke start to dissipate. I would say even within the last 15 to 20 minutes, it's not as bad as it first was when we first arrived. So it's starting to dissipate, which is good, but there have been a lot of different shelter-in-places that have been put in just because of that smoke and what people are seeing and even smelling. We can smell that smoke. One thing that we can't see through the TV is what it smells like out here, and we can smell that smoke here right now as well. So we're continuing to stay out here. There have been a lot of UPS workers who we've interacted with who have come to see what was going on. In fact, we were just speaking with one UPS worker. She told us she had gotten off of work not too long ago, went home, and then all of a sudden she started getting all these text messages, all of these phone calls, people checking in on her, asking if she was okay, and luckily she was, but that's how she found out what happened. And she said it's going to be hard to come back to work tomorrow. If they are coming back to work tomorrow, we don't know what this looks like for employees tomorrow either right now. A lot of uncertainty right now, but saying it's just going to be a hard process moving forward. And she was just very speechless. And I feel like we were very speechless too as we're sitting here waiting for more information, wanting to know what's going on. But what we can tell you right now is there's still law enforcement on scene. They're still encouraging people to stay away from the airport if you don't need to be here. We've been seeing a lot of different cars too, driving. There's a road right in front of us. It might be hard to see right now because it's dark, but we've been seeing a lot of cars speeding back and forth on the other side of this fence. So still a very active scene. But we'll continue to bring you the latest updates of what we know from what we're seeing here on the scene right now. But what we see so far is that smoke is starting to go down a little bit. Guys, back to you.
Well, that is some good news.
All right, we do have a comment from Governor Andy Beshear. Kentucky, we are aware of a reported plane crash near Louisville International Airport. First responders are on site, and we will share more information as available. Please pray for the pilot's crew and everyone affected. We will share more soon. And that was a comment from Governor Beshear, who is headed to Louisville, Kentucky. We are told